funhouse active. King of the palace, rubber like Malcolm. Balled up fist in the air to the fast lit. Yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, and I just leave impression. Next to rain, all they window pane, puffin' plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin. Whip the wheels, let the horses just spin. Why they trash, another chore on my list. Out of this orbit, I sober the pen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What is happening? What is going on? Let's roll with the flavor. How are we tonight, ladies and gentlemen? What is good? It's going to get the charts up and rolling. I've obviously messed up a little bit on the structure of the stream, but it's all good. Let's roll over and get this all sorted out. Good evening, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Just going to wait for a few more of you guys to roll into tonight's stream. I am coming on a little bit earlier than expected because price action is just showing that behavior. I just need to get that sorted out right now. But yeah, it's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while. There we go. That's what we like to see. We like to see this behavior right here. So, what's good, guys? What is happening? Ryan Mac 87, how you doing, my bro? Yeah, the beat was pretty fire. Let's turn it up a little bit more. So, what's good? LA in the house. What is happening? Luna's been fire. I can imagine Luna's been fire. I have been away from the charts for a little bit, but I've had a little bit of fun with the charts as well. So it's been pretty interesting to say the least. Milad, mad love, bro. Thank you very much. Cinnamon sticks, no worries, bro. Do your thing, man. What's my man Steve saying? Good old Steve, eh? Yeah, you know what Steve's like. He says a lot, but doesn't really say much. What's happening? Florida in the house. What is good? Detroit, what's happening? Wicked, wicked, wicked. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, given that things are getting pretty interesting across the board, I want to address a couple of things. And what is it about these 25 days that is very important for Bitcoin moving up? Okay, so without further ado, welcome to the Traders Reality Stream. My name is Tino. Let's have a conversation, guys. Let's roll with it. So, moving on, okay? Bitcoin over the past few days has been taking a little bit of a bleed to the downside. Now, there's this speculation on the idea that if Russians have, limitations to using fiat to buy anything, and PayPal, MasterCard, Visa are limiting all transactions for any Russians to use those platforms, does that mean they're going to turn to cryptocurrency? Well, you need to have fiat to obtain the cryptocurrency in the first place. So is that a good idea? Is that a good thing? Maybe, maybe not. I saw that getting tweeted today by a gentleman and it hit base. It makes you think, hold on a second. Yes, as much as cryptocurrency is the next spot for Russians to obtain assets as such or have some form of liquidity, if they can't convert the ruble into anything, then there's going to be a little bit of a problem. Now, of course, I read somewhere that Russia may be making the ruble tethered to the basis of gold. So could you imagine the value of every ruble right now if it was tethered to the idea of gold? Could you imagine that? Anyone that holds a ruble right now is laughing their heads off, which is probably why all this limitation and these sanctions are hitting Russia right now, because they probably anticipated them to do such a thing. Okay? But you know what? It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do anything about it. All we can do is just look at the charts and understand exactly what's going to happen next. We are in news plays right now. Mad love from West Virginia, man. Thank you very much. What can we absorb, and how are we going to move forward with price action, especially with Bitcoin, so that we can at least have an idea of what to expect? Well, the next 25 days are critically important for Bitcoin. Sounds like a long time, all right? But it is very important, and I'm going to explain to you why. You want to get up the monthly time frame, because this is the truth and this is the fact, okay? The principle says, now listen, I don't want to be a killjoy, but I want to label out the importance of why these next 25 days are important, okay? in this chart right now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see we've got very important zones that Bitcoin has every reason to come and test. Okay? Now, this is the monthly candle. And we've got 25 days, all right, until this monthly candle finalizes. Yeah? Now, what's good about this monthly candle so far is it's doing a good job of staying within this range right here. Okay? It's doing a very good job. But the next 25 days are critical. Why? Because Bitcoin can come down as far as potentially the 32 range again. All right? And even look to test this area here. This is why these next 25 days are important for Bitcoin. 2 points in the chart of interest are the 28,972 and, of course, the 32,981. These are two important zones. Now, I'm making this judgment on the way price is behaving right now. Okay? Here we go. Angel, there was actually a financial business congressional meeting in Russia imploring Putin to change crypto laws to circumvent the sanctions. Okay, fair enough. But the problem is if people don't have the access to liquidity and they don't have the avenues that every single one of these crypto exchanges provides, okay, to buy crypto via fiat, the idea is on the basis that people already have crypto in Russia. So they're not going to have an impact on price because they already hold it. It's the new people that need to obtain it. How's that going to happen? So Russia's going to have to pull something out of the bag. Something very interesting out of the bag. Now look at it like this, ladies and gentlemen. If Bitcoin can stay within these next 25 days within this range right here, and given the volatility of the way things are moving across the board with all these news announcements regarding Russia, I don't think Bitcoin can hold this range. Okay? I don't know. Because it has every reason to come back into these zones. These are the wicks. They always come back to the wicks. They always test them. Wherever the momentum is pushing, there is a good chance that it's likely to come back into those ranges. Now listen, of course, the next 25 days are going to be critical. Why? Because if Bitcoin can stay in this range and move higher whilst everything is happening across the board, then when things start to calm down and everything takes its natural course, then Bitcoin is going to continue and make its move higher. Okay? But unfortunately, we have these vector zones in the chart. Is it possible? Because if the vector candles come back on the 1 hour time frame, the 1 minute time frame, the 5 minute and the 15, why would it be any different to the monthly candle? Okay? Why would it be any different? Now, of course, I want Bitcoin to go up. I want Bitcoin to go up. It pays me for Bitcoin to go up. Why? Like everyone else, we're getting involved in cryptocurrency for the idea of creating wealth. The idea is that you favor a coin, you buy it, and you hope that it continues in value. It appreciates in value. The way things are right now, guys, is Bitcoin is coming into testing these critical points. Now, this is where we are. Is Bitcoin going to come down to these points to get so that it's easier for the bigger players to obtain more of it at a lower price? Because Bitcoin's not priced at an amount for the average person coming into cryptocurrency. No. It's like Yearn Finance. No one will pay attention to Yearn Finance, all right, unless you had it from back in the day. That's why everyone will roll over to the altcoins, maybe take a little stab on the Ethereum. We haven't tested the 200 on the weekly in 2 years. This is true. Let's roll up the weekly. Here we go. The 200 EMA on the... Oh, this is, of course, Bitcoin Tether Perpetual. So it's going to be a little bit of a different story. Let me just get Bitcoin up on... let me just get that up somewhere else. BTC USD. The 200 EMA there. No, where's the 200 EMA? Don't understand why this is happening. I don't understand that. I do not understand that. Where am I going to see that? Coinbase, maybe? Coinbase going to have it on there? There we go. Coinbase has it. Cool. All right, look. Yes, this is true. Bitcoin hasn't tested the 200 EMA in 2 years. That's important, you know. All right? It's just been riding this 50 EMA, and every time it comes down towards it, it moves away from it. But this big rejective candle right here, where it spikes the high and brings it back down again because it creates the idea of Bitcoin now going higher, retail traders commit at leverage trading. They snap it back down, and here we are today, trading below the 5 and the 13 and the 50 EMA. Again, the next 25 days are critically important for Bitcoin. Now, the start of the new week, which is in 2 hours and 24 minutes, could actually see a little bit of a recovery into this wick right here, ladies and gentlemen. So that could be good news, but it could also imply the start of a false move at the start of Monday. Okay, let's roll down to the lower time frames to understand where we are with Bitcoin in that sense. So let me just pull up Bitcoin Tether. Okay, then, cool. So as it stands, Bitcoin's trading below the 50 EMA. All right, 200 EMAs crossed over, 800 EMAs crossed over. Everything looks like it's favoring lower prices. Be cautious, guys. For every retrace back up, you want to see Bitcoin close above these areas right here. Okay, this is the area you want Bitcoin to close into. Why? Because then it will reset the momentum. This area here will reset the momentum, which sits at the 40 and the 41 range. We've got every reason to believe they could come back up because we've got previous vector points in the chart. Okay, but always go with where the momentum's going. Ask yourself the question, if price aggressively moves into one zone at speed and doesn't continue to maintain that stance when it retraces, there's a good chance it was a stop hunt rise and a drop. Okay, so always be mindful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin looks like it's starting to show a little bit of traction right now. It's holding this range very well. And something that happened here is similar to what happened down here. Okay, where we naturally anticipated that move. But if you notice here, so it wouldn't be the same, but you see this zone right here where we see an aggressive push down. Is that aggressiveness the same in this area here? Because Bitcoin's doing a good job of holding the psychological ranges right here. But again, as I said, Bitcoin needs to get above the psychological ranges for the start of the week for us to make the assumption that it's going to start coming up at least into this area here. So if Bitcoin can maintain this price action and continue higher, then the violet vector candle could be a point in the chart that Bitcoin may visit. So be mindful of that. But the problem that I've got, guys, is the news is making the markets very unstable. Okay, Sydney is now open, so they're getting wind of what's been going on. We're going to have Tokyo later on tonight and then Hong Kong. It's whatever happens in tonight's Asian session that's going to predetermine Bitcoin's likelihood of raising to the upside and it being a false move for them to come back down again and trade lower for the rest of the week, which is why we need to be cautious of this monthly candle right here. Okay, so on the monthly time frame, guys, pull up the monthly time frame. Okay, mark off the key points in the chart on the monthly time frame that you want to be paying attention to. So that will be this low right here at 37,994. Then you've got this low right here, which sits at 34,248. And then, of course, this range right here. These are the ranges that we are looking for on the basis that Bitcoin continues to trade lower. Okay? If it comes all the way back up, then of course, a clean break above this monthly candles range would be the first thing that you need to be aware of. And at absolute tops, even if it comes up into this area here, then we will know where we stand because Bitcoin would then be trading above the moving averages on the monthly time frame. Okay? Are we cool with that, ladies and gentlemen? Can you please check the 3-day chart for Bitcoin? It looks like it's holding the 200. Okay, let's look at the 3-day chart. Yes, it is holding the 200, but the problem that I've got with the 3-day chart is this. This aggressive move up automatically came back down again. It came back down again. So it was a standard stop hunt rise drop. Okay, so it shook out all the retail traders who went long and the guys who went short, and then shook out all the retail traders that went long and hit their liquidation points. There's a big manipulative play here. This range right here is critically important as well, which will develop into what will happen over the next 25 days. As long as Bitcoin stays below the moving average, your bias, okay, would naturally be to the downside. Okay, because it's not showing upside potential. The market maker obviously isn't finished with this range. Because if we look at it like this, guys, if we take this cyclical move, okay, so if you look here, there's a 3-day chart, yeah? Go onto the daily, it shows you an M formation up here, all right? Now that M formation price has dropped to the downside, and this is a long consolidation. So we would be of the interest that this could be a level 1 zone. Now, in order for this level to continue to the downside, Bitcoin just needs to break down low. If you look closer, you can see on the daily, we have got some very interesting wicks. Now, we know a story about wicks, don't we? We know wicks like to do something. Okay? There's a problem with wicks. And if they always tend to come back into these ranges. You know? Oh, man, please, bro. Please, bro. That's a big lie. We've been talking about these vectors for a long time. You know? But anyway, moving forward. If this this level right here, if this level can hold, all right, it would reset this pattern up here. Okay? If this level can hold down here, this pattern will continue. Sorry, this pattern will be invalidated. Why? Because if they move Bitcoin higher from this zone, it may be short-lived with a retrace back into this vector zone right here. Now, which level are you going to be playing from? Are you favoring higher prices? Are you favoring lower prices? What's the narrative in your mind based on your risk factor? Okay? Yeah, the news may not be causing anything. Yeah, the news may not be causing anything, but let's see what you're saying. I have a theory that when open interests are low enough, the market makers shaking enough money out of the market in order to push prices up to bring more money back. Maybe. But people are pretty scared right now. People don't know. People could be in denial. People are scared about price action. They're scared about what's going on with Russia. I mean, I like to make all of my judgments based on the market cap dominance chart itself. I like to look at this chart. Why? Because this chart tells me when traders are putting their money into into assets and taking them out. Okay? Look at these 2 points in the chart right here. This is on the daily of the USDT chart. Look at this, 2 wicks. They always come back to the wicks. Principle would say they're going to come back into this range, and the USDT dominance will be coming up here into like the 5% range. All right? If you break it down onto this USDT chart, for every vector zone, you're seeing it coming back. It's always coming back. So you can understand when traders are taking profits from trades or when they're actually feeling fearful that they're going to put their money into USDT. When the USDT dominance chart drops, it implies that traders are actually scared, actually putting their money back into crypto. When it rises, it means that they're putting their money into safety. Look at gold. All right, gold is going to probably make a big gap up. We're projecting gold to reach out into this previous high right here. Given the news at the weekend, we might see a potential gap up in gold. It's very rare that you do see a gap up in gold, okay? But if we do see one, it might be a pretty beastie one, okay? So that could be it. What's this guy saying, man? What is this guy saying? Tom Trades. I ain't paying no one, bro. You know? I ain't paying no one. Like, running his mouth. Anyways, moving on. USDT. That's the basis of what I like to look at. That's the chart that tells me what they're likely to do. And if you pay attention to the USDT chart itself, you kind of get a good idea, all right? Now, sometimes, it's only sometimes, right? When you pay attention to this chart, you kind of see the disparity. Of course, when Bitcoin rises, this drops. That's the standard. No different to when gold rises and the S&P 500 drops as well. All right, that's the disparity between the two. Okay? Now, the S&P 500 has got a big vector zone right here, which could imply tomorrow we might actually see a gap down, which if I actually pull up the chart itself right now, we can see that they're trading lower. This should actually be trading. Of course, it's not open just yet. 15 more minutes until this exchange opens, which is going to tell me that they're going to be trading lower in this zone right here. Okay? Now, remember, guys, of course, if the S&P trades lower, Bitcoin, as much as we think it follows it, sometimes it hasn't really been following the disparity of the S&P 500. Bitcoin has been holding, especially over here when Bitcoin was at this point in this chart right here, up here. When Bitcoin was up here, we were like, hold on a second, man. Why isn't it doing anything? Why has it not dropped yet? Okay, where was it? No, go back onto the 1 hour time frame. Where was it? There we go. That's the zone right there. Okay? When Bitcoin was holding this range, the S&P was all over the place. It was going up, it was going down, but Bitcoin was doing a good job of holding in this range. Now that it's dropped down lower, okay, we're implying that the S&P is going to be following suit as well. So we've got to keep an eye out on this, man. Tino, I don't think there can be any big pump in any market, crypto or stocks, until the war calms down. What do you think about that? Well, let's look at it like this. The markets will always absorb price before anything else. All right. They'll always factor in what has happened. Okay. Now, of course, the only thing that's been impacted right now is, of course, the Russian ruble itself and the Russian stock market. And what I don't understand is why they are so keen to televise it and let everybody know about it. Surely, all right, companies around the US, China, UK, surely they're invested in something in Russian companies. They must have investments. How can they be so cool with allowing that to happen? That's what I don't understand. You know? Which is why in these times of marketplaces, ladies and gentlemen, you look to commodities. You run with commodities. That's all you're looking for. You pay attention to the yields, the government yields itself. Now you can see the yields are actually bottoming out in this area, but we won't know until tomorrow with the yields itself. All right. We then have crude oil futures. Look at that oil going to $115 a barrel. You mad? If you look at, where was it? Back in the subprime mortgage crisis. All right. Look at this. Subprime mortgage crisis of 2007. Ah, it's not even up. Why? Oh, I need to get that. Let me find crude oil. Let me get the futures. No, I need WTI, is it? That's it. It should be oil futures. Right, let's just go. Ah, man, crude oil, is it? Let's try that one. There we go. There we are. Here we are. Okay, so look. Subprime mortgage crisis. Oil went all the way up to $147 a barrel. Now, it would be in your interest, guys, if you are trading stocks and shares, okay? Go and check out oil companies. Oil exploration, okay? That's a good one. Oil refiners, yeah? These are the companies that find the oil, dig for the oil, and they sell the oil on. Now, of course, $114 a barrel, okay, it's rising up. And now it's coming up into the same territory where psychologically where traders were at their fearful. Okay? And this was where the subprime mortgage crisis was at. Now, when obviously things were declared about the subprime mortgage crisis, it peaked and smacked to the downside. All right? You pull up gold as well. Gold is doing exactly the same thing. Let me have a look at soybean. Look at soybean. Flying. All right? Moving higher. Wheat futures. Look at wheat futures. That is nuts. That is unbelievable. Copper futures flying up. Corn all the way up. So in times of scarcity, when everyone's like, oh my God, what are we going to do next? Okay? You run to commodities. No different to when traders run to the bonds. No different to when they run to safety of gold. Commodities always wins. Now, it might be a beneficial thing to keep an eye out on cryptocurrency and the disparity that it has between commodities as well, because gold's going to sit in. I mean, look at Pax Bitcoin. All right, look at this. This is a cryptocurrency coin, I believe, is matched against Bitcoin itself. And we have ourselves this zone right here. So Pax Bitcoin. So when Pax is rising, Bitcoin's dropping, and it's doing a good job of trading away, rejecting the 50 EMA. We look left and we could see that they've got this zone right here, which we are projecting for it. So a movement from here to here. I mean, how much is that? How much of a move is that? Could we see that? An 8% increase. Let's hypothetically assume Bitcoin is going to do the same thing. An 8% drop in Bitcoin. Let's see where that will take us. That will take us right bang into this zone right here, which is the recovery of the green vector candle. That's exactly what we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. For the near term. On the basis that Bitcoin rejects this 50 EMA. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, this is all it is. Black Swan event coming soon, maybe. Probably. And this little move to the upside, okay, is like them containing this here. I'm waiting for Tokyo and Hong Kong tonight, man, because we're going to know where we stand with that. I mean, if we pull up News Factory right here, this is what they're saying about it. Here we go. Russia warns other countries to not host Ukraine army jets. Okay, that's cool. American Express, there you go, suspending all operations in Russia. That's a bit awkward, man. You know? Wasn't Putin generating like $400 million a day? He's got the funds to fund this war. You know? He can afford to fund this war. So something's happening. Now we've got the US begin to review tariffs on $300 billion worth of China imports. I think this week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to know where we stand, especially with the dollar yen itself. Okay, if yen's behaving like this, gold is going to keep on moving up. Yen's going to be coming down in towards these zones right here, the 114 mark itself. Luna, everyone's talking about Luna. Okay, saying that, you know, Luna's been brilliant. It's been doing really well. Given the way Luna trades, doing a good job of holding its ranges. I mean, out of all the coins going so far, it's done a fantastic job of moving higher. From our projected zone that we were waiting for her to hit, she did just that. Come away from this obscure W formation. So she's done a good job right there. You would have to be patient to trade something like this or wait for a W formation to play out in Luna, but it is a mad coin. Okay, and a lot of news happening with Terra behind it as well. It's very interesting price action with Luna. Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. Following the same behavior as Bitcoin. Now look what they're doing. Spike, spike, and spike. Yeah, that's all they're doing. Hitting these ranges, are grabbing the longs, making everyone believe it could turn from this point, it could turn from this point, it could turn from this point. Even if it does turn from this point, guys, we've got these objective points in the charts. Oh my God, what's going on here? I need to fix something. Here we go. Nice little boomer moment for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's just ran out of battery. I can't believe that. There we go. Happy days. We're back in. Russia owns more than 12% of all crypto. Is that confirmed, though? Yes, I am, Nick. Yeah. Yeah, he's making silly bank off oil. Bitcoin is creating a hammer move in the day chart. Yeah, let's actually have a look at the book map itself. We'll pull that up for a second. Well, look, listen, whatever anyone says about whatever Bitcoin's doing, okay, ultimately, we just need to pay attention. Well, whatever time frame it is that you're trading from, okay, whether it's the monthly time frame where we've got the vector candles to the downside, which we could anticipate Bitcoin coming towards, and it wouldn't be the first time we've mentioned it. It would not be the first time we've mentioned these vector candles. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Roll on the 2-week chart, still vector candle presence. Weekly chart, still vector candle presence. There's every reason for them to come into these areas on the principle of the vector candle. 3-day chart, we still got more vector zones, but again, they need to break these points. We've got these 2 wicks in the chart right here, and the rejection of this area here is pretty substantial, man. It's a downwards trend, man. It looks like this M formation could come into play, but look, Bitcoin is holding above this zone. So again, we will know if Bitcoin breaks below this zone and breaks below this zone right here. That's when we know. Because if this is going to be a big M formation and this is the first level retrace back into the 50, then okay, we will know when price starts to drop down lower. Again, what are you? What trader are you? I'm a short-term day trader. I'm not interested in Bitcoin on the higher time frames. That's the truth. I speak about the higher time frames just to acknowledge and help out the guys who may be holding Bitcoin and put my perspective on Bitcoin on the higher time frames. Frankly, the higher time frames are of no interest for me. I'm not in trades long enough for me to grant a change. You know? For me, I'm all about anything below the 1 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame to me is what the daily candle is to swing traders. You know, 4 hours just too much time for me. All right, can use the 4 hour as a weekly candle if I really want to, because it just takes, you know, the 4 hour chart itself. It's just a massive range for me when I'm only looking for Bitcoin to go from one retrace point to the next. I'm exploiting Bitcoin from these sort of plays here where I see a big retrace away from the 50 EMA. I'm looking at getting into these zones right here. I'm putting down size. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You know? You love the vectors. That's it. Something that is confirmed is Ukraine having the biggest Bitcoin treasury. Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? Who knows? Could you please show us the movement of natural gas futures from February? Have I got the gas futures? Okay, let's have a look at gas futures. How's that going to help us here? Hold on a second. Do we know what the ticker symbol is? I'm guessing natural gas. Here we go. Pro shares. Oil and natural gas. Let's go with this one here. Very low liquidity here. I don't know if that's correct. Gas futures. Pro shares. Natural gas. No, don't want that one. Northern oil and gas. No. Futures. I'm guessing E-mini futures. Here we are. Let's go with that one. Okay, higher time frames. Let's look at that. Let's look at the monthly on that. Okay, that's where we are right now with the gas futures. Don't know if it's the correct one that you want me to look at, my friend. What else are you guys saying? Will Bitcoin drop? Bitcoin, listen, this is what I mean. Make the choice. What trader are you? Are you a long-term trader? Are you a short-term day trader? What I say about the long-term is irrelevant. What I say about the short-term is irrelevant, but relevant to me because my strategy is evolved around the idea of Bitcoin trading away from one moving average to the next. That's mean reversion. That's exactly what the market maker blatantly admitted that it's one of his strategies. You've seen that stream. Tino, Russia has loads of gold. They've been stacking since 2008. Yes, of course. They probably have loads of gold, which is why I believe gold's going to take out this zone in the chart. This next point in the chart. Right here. I believe that's going to be the case. And of course, we've got this range right here. I think it's clearer on this chart when I look at gold. There's gold right here. If I zoom out on the weekly time frame of gold, this is the area that I'm expecting gold to come and reach into, which will take us towards the $2018 per ounce. That is nuts. So if Bitcoin's correlation between gold, okay? Yeah, so Bitcoin's correlation with gold, if that actually plays out and gold rises up, then fine. We know where Bitcoin's going to go. But the problem is we're starting to see Bitcoin holding its position and gold's just doing its own thing. I like to see that. So Bitcoin does its own thing, its own in its own entity as such, you know. Gold price is suppressed to control inflation. Yeah, but you know what? In my opinion, with what's going on right now, it's all about who has the most of it. That's all it is. We might think it's being suppressed right now. What if it's only going to start getting suppressed once it hits 2,500? It's one of those ones. They say Bitcoin is the greatest thing, greatest asset to hedge against inflation. Whatever it is, it's going to be that. You know, whatever it will be. For me, it's irrelevant. Again, I made the commitment that trading on longer time frames doesn't suit my personality. I'm impulsive. I want fast in, fast out. Scalper. That's my nature. Okay? For some of you, it may not be, you may not have the flexibility to do so. It may not suit you. It may not be, you know, are you able to sit at the chart and concentrate for a solid 2-3 hours a day looking for moves in the chart, whether they be on the 5-minute time frame or the 15-minute time frame? What's going to work for you? Can you sit through these volatile plays? You know, it's all down to your trading personality that matters. Tino, yes, Tino, second output from Russia's natural gas. Yes, they own the Black Sea. That's correct. And has skyrocketed in the rest of commodities. The ETF of natural gas is UNG on the NYC. Okay, UNG. Is it? Here we go. So there's the natural gas. All right, and it has been rising up. Well, hold on, let's see on the high time frames. There we go. Okay, then. So, looking at natural gas, I mean, of course, look, you can see gaps opening all the time in this. So, be careful with that. Could they be coming back to fill this gap? Maybe. Is it possible they could be coming back to fill that gap? Maybe. But like I said, it's down to your decision on whether you decide to take the trade or not. Okay? It's up to you. At the end of the day, make the decision what kind of trader you are. Are you a long-term day trader? Are you a long-term trader or a short-term day trader? It's up to you. Okay? Short-term day traders are looking at opening size in this area here and aiming to see if price can come back down into this range right here. Or they're looking to see price move higher and spike the zones up there. It's up to them. If you're going to be waiting for Bitcoin to move higher and trying to work out if you should enter in this area here and close hypothetically at this point right here, well, what is price going to do before it gets there? Do you have the liquidity to sit through the drawdown, spike lower, come down and grab the liquidity from the retail traders in this green vector zone? Because that's probably what's happening right now for some traders. They're currently caught in longs, buying the dip. Yeah? They believe this could be the dip. But let's just be honest right now, guys. Let's just zoom out a second because we haven't paid much attention to this. So far, this W formation right here seems to be playing out because they haven't broken this range and this range. So until these ranges are broken, we are in the accumulation phase of a pattern. All right? Bitcoin can even rise up from this point. If you look at this mini pattern right here, we said it last week. What if this is all part of a bigger pattern? As you can see right there. W, rise, drop. We're going to see price coming up. Or is it just going to come back down again? Because look, again, 800 EMA seems to be a problem. 2-hour chart, same story. Okay, 800 EMA. But of course, on the 1-hour time frame, we see a different story. Okay, it trades above the 800 EMA and it's come back down where we anticipated a bounce from it and it failed to do so. Where did it do that last time? It did it right here. Look at that. Same story. Traded away from the 800 EMA. That was good news. It was this zone where we'll be expecting it to move higher. Okay. Mr. Dutch, how you doing, man? I hope your break was well, bro. I hope your break was well, man. What's going on? Yeah, there's probably a little bit of a lag, ladies and gentlemen. Tino, can you give me a reason why Bitcoin can't move higher from this point? Listen, Bitcoin can move higher from this point, but are you going to be in the trade from the moment it decides to move up? Are you going to be in the trade before it moves up? What if you're in the trade and it doesn't move up? What do you determine as higher? You know? Bitcoin can move up. It's still working in the psychological ranges. We got Monday tomorrow, guys. We know what Mondays are about. You know? See, it really looks like a head and shoulders on the 2 hours instead of a pattern. Here's the point. Okay? This is the point right here. There is a head and shoulders on the 2-hour chart. There is a bullish hammer on the 3-day chart. There is a massive retrace that could actually happen on the monthly time frame with the recovery of the green vector candles on the monthly time frame right here. Okay, going to the daily itself, it's trading below the 50 EMA. Go to the 17-hour chart, it shows an M formation right there. Go on to the 8-hour chart, we could see a W formation forming right there. Guys, when price is trading sideways, okay, it can be whatever we want it to be. Yeah? It's all down to what are they going to do in terms of the liquidity they generate in this area. Back to the idea of the Mr. Market Maker. What is he making retail traders think in this range? Is he making them think that price is going to go higher, or is he making them think it's going to go lower? All right? That's what we need to understand. And when they spike these zones, if they break out from this area here, or they break out from this area down here, we're going to know where we stand with the market and their intention. Why? Because if they do break out from this range, we expect the retrace back into the range, continuation to the downside. That's all we expect. You know? That's the story. Mean diversion or mean reversion. It's mean reversion. Mean reversion is when price moves back into the fray. All right, and that's the basis of my strategy with trading. All I do is just trade mean reversions. So in other words, I look on the lower time frames. I go to the 15-minute time frame and I say to myself, okay, where is the moving average? Where's the 50 EMA? All right. And if it's extended like this, I'm looking at these moving averages right here. Okay. This is a bit of an anomaly in the chart, right? Because of how aggressive the move was. So let me go back to an example would be like this here. All right. So look at this range. So when I see this behavior happen with the chart, they're coming away from the moving average. They've not touched the 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. All right. So of course, when price is down here and I see a vector candle like this, I'm preparing to go long to grab liquidity to move towards the 50 EMA. I'm out in this range. I'm happy with that. And I'll do that 5 to 10, 20 times a day. Okay. Now I'll do that on smaller time frames as well. All right, on the 15, it will take me all, it will take way too long to try and do that 10, 20 times a day. But here's an example of it right here. All right, price deviates away from the moving average. I see it drop. It retraces back into the moving average. I've got an option here. Do I decide to go long or do I decide to go short? All right, in this area here, I'm seeing a reduction of orders coming in to favor higher prices. The market maker doesn't really make his presence known to the upside. He's already recovered the vectors in this range. I'm expecting lower price movement. Down it goes because the pattern is present. If we look left, you'll see that we've got every reason to believe that they're going to come back into that range. Why? Because of the principle of the green vector candles are in that range. And there's probably a lot of long liquidation points that are probably getting absorbed. That is a textbook trade right there for me. Absolutely textbook. Again, so on the 5-minute time frame, they recover the green vector candles. The 15-minute time frame, they come back and recover the green vector candles. The 4-hour time frame, they come back and recover the vector candles. Tell me why, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not possible for them to come back and recover the green vector candles on the monthly time frame, which is what I'm paying attention to in this whole monthly cycle. We've been talking about this from day. Okay, when I said it, everyone went nuts in the stream. And that was when I was talking about it on MT4. If you remember back in the day, when we spoke about it on MT4, hey guys, look at Bitcoin's monthly time frame. What? Is it possible? But Tino, what if Bitcoin, can it come back down to that point? Can it come back down to that point? Come on, man. We're all about the vectors, ladies and gentlemen, from day one. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. High block, I'll tell you what with high block, ladies and gentlemen, this is the story with high block, okay? You can use high block as a reference to see where the liquidation points are. But here's a little bit of a trick of the trade. All right? They've already absorbed roughly about $25 billion worth of longs in this range, okay? Now we've got a load of shorts in the area. What are the chances of them actually coming back up? They could come back up to trap enough longs. But because of the news plays, all right, because of what's going on across the board, as much as we might think Bitcoin is dismissing the news, okay, it isn't. It's reacting very well to it. And we just need to be careful. Once all of this madness that's happening with Russia finalizes, we can start going back to worrying about interest rate hikes because we can handle that. They're either going to do it or they're not. But with what's going on with Russia, it's going to have a ripple effect across the board. Okay? They're going to start taking money out of oil futures. Where's that going to go? They're going to start taking their money out of wheat futures. Where's that going to go? Yeah? The same way that the USDT market cap itself, as long as that's rising, people are actually scared and putting their money into this as opposed to cryptocurrency itself and buying up coins. The yen futures itself, what's the story there? They're pulling back. Could we see dollar rising up? Gold needs to come back down at some point. But because it's all on the narrative of war, anything goes. You know? So, oh yes, book map. I didn't actually look at the book map. Let's have a look at the book map, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't brought that up and then I'm going to finalize and let you guys be. Here we go. Yeah, last time I was that bearish back in July, it pumped 18k in a single session after a stream. Yeah, because I obviously was told about Elon buying Bitcoin. You know how it is, bro. You know, because we know when Elon's going to buy Bitcoin or Tesla's going to declare it. Like, what does that prove? Nothing. All right, this guy, I'll read it out for you, bro. Don't worry. I'll read it out for you. Don't need to post it again. Don't need to post it again, bro. Here's your moment of fame. Oh, man. YouTube, eh? All right, Bitcoin. Here we go. What have we got? Where's the liquidity at? Is it at 30 still? 584 Bitcoin at 30k, man. Still there. Why is it not budging? Doesn't seem to budge below 500. Stays between 600 and 500 Bitcoin. What is the story? 10k drop. Is that possible? Of course it is. If we look closer, we can't really see much. I mean, there's not really that much liquidity above. But this is, of course, the traded range. There's loads of liquidity at 0. Everyone's going to buy at 0. Of course they are. But the near top side liquidity could be 107 Bitcoin right there. Not much for me, to be honest with you. But this is where the liquidity is transacting. 39,700 is where a lot of liquidity is currently at, but there's not that much liquidity, if you know what I'm saying. It's 107 Bitcoin and 90 Bitcoin in that range right there. But then when we look at Bitcoin down at 30k, there is a lot of liquidity trapped in that range at 584. So there's another story right there. Okay. If Bitcoin pumps... Get rid of this Brer, man. He obviously needs entertainment. It's all good. Watch out, small pump incoming. You know what? I would love a pump for Bitcoin. Come on. Don't we want Bitcoin to pump? Doesn't it make sense? You know, I'm going by what I see. Yeah? I've seen that Bitcoin's been dropping for the past 3-4 days. Okay? I want to see Bitcoin rise. Problem that I've got is these areas here. 1 and 2. They can just come back into these ranges. Third hit. What's the story? Hopefully it rises up. But how long is it going to rise for? Give me a valid run to the upside, Bitcoin, and come back into this area here. Then we'll have a conversation. All right? But that's the problem. A lot of people are like, oh, Bitcoin only needs to move up $50 for it to validate a pump to the upside. Like, what's the story there? What triggers traders to make commitments? Little pumps. Yeah? You want to see price action? You look at the 30-second time frame. You look at the 1-second time frame if you really want a heart attack. Yeah, you want to see some madness in the chart. You watch this chart. You see every single order transaction as such. Look at that. Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin's dumping. Every 5 seconds or every second you're having that problem. You know? What have we got here? What are your thoughts on coins that are spot only, that don't have leverage like Onston? It's spot only. How the market makers handle those coins. They're liquidity providers. What classification of the asset they provide it for is it's different. You know, they have a spot wallet as such. Then they have the leverage for the futures markets. They provide all the liquidity. That's how it works. What else you got here? Bro, in 2020 January times, Novavax and Moderna started its pump hella lots. Yet FTSE Dow crypto tanked Bitcoin from 10 to 5-ish. Could this be the same for 2022, but gas and energy stocks? I think so. Maybe. As again, right? We can only look back and say, what are the chances of it happening? Right? Can we correlate what happened back in 2007, 2008 when crude oil futures were where they were back then? Yeah, when they peaked at $147 a barrel. Right now it's 114. Could we see price drop from that point? Maybe. Could that be the reset where everything then decides to drop? S&P, actually, hold on. S&P 500 right here. The aftermarket hours. Is it doing anything? Let me just pull this chart up right here. Are we going to see it? Boom. Here we go. It's not open yet. I'm not done. Very interesting. Which means that tells me, I mean, Bitcoin right now is trading 5 days away from its peak formation. That's what Bitcoin's doing right now. Where is it? 5 days away from its peak formation, forming the high in this zone right here. Recovery of this wick right here would be a valid assumption. Okay, but they did that last time and they didn't fully recover that zone. So they could be setting up the range right here. Psychological low for Bitcoin is 38,748. Remember, I'm going to be doing this on the on the community post for you guys. So take these figures down. Psychological high for Bitcoin is 39,681. Okay. So there you go. Look, they're wicking the range. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. My forte in trading is the lower time frames. Okay. And the way for you guys, if you are trading on the higher time frames, or you're trading off the higher time frames in the sense where you're looking for swing trades maybe, or you're buying and selling in terms of holding, you're a holder, all you need to be aware of, okay, is the following. How fast do they move price from one point to the next? Okay, that's all you need to look at. Okay? Because if you look at this right here, look at this daily candle right here. How long did it take Bitcoin to get from the open to where it closed at? Or sorry, to its high. Yeah? Ask yourself that question. How long did it take to get from the open to the high? All right? That kind of gives you an idea of where you stand for potentially the next day on the basis that they do actually follow through with it. But focusing on the speed of a candlestick is really going to help you understand what you can project moving forward. And you need enough crypto to cover their risks. Spot is completely different. True. Thank you for answering the message. Teach me how to trade. No worries, my friend. It's out of the matrix. When you finally understand the game and how they behave. This is it. If you need high block, let me quickly get high block up for you, and then I can let you guys be. Let me get high block up. Hold on, stay there. Let me get it up for you. I just hate the delay that high block has. Here we go. So I mean, I'm waiting for it right now. Waiting for it right now. What a joke. Come on. Some people are funny on Twitter, man. This is my problem with it, man. It takes ages to formulate. Absolutely ages. Look at Luna. Luna's taking a bit of a beating, man. As always, altcoins tend to move a little bit more aggressively. Bitcoin coming back up. Let me have a look. This containment of price action right here. Look what we just experienced right now. Okay? You see how they just moved up a little bit. Okay? I haven't really gone anywhere. Yeah? This is the daily open. We've got a new daily candle coming in the next 2 hours. So, the wick recovery. News plays. At what point do you decide to get in and get out? Again, I won't provide a signal. That's not my forte. I won't give you a signal, but I'll try and help you guys understand it the best way possible. Okay, then. Let's get back into this. The pattern, the W formation could still be valid. That could still be valid. The way it's invalidated is if this range breaks. Why would you want to enter in this area here? That's my point. You wouldn't want to get involved into a trade in this area yet. Because if this pattern plays out to the upside, Bitcoin's going to come back up and break this area here and most likely retrace back down towards the 50. Yeah? And then continue back up. So this is your area for entry. This area here. Forget the price. Focus on the action. Because you might say, I'm not going to get in unless it hits below 42,500. Well, then what if it actually bounces from 44 and continues higher? Forget the price. Focus on the candlesticks. Right now, it's accumulating in this range. If this pattern's going to play out, we will know. Because it's going to start coming up and it's going to break above the 50 EMA. Wait for the 5 and the 13 EMA to cross over the moving average of the 50 EMA. Then you have your decision as to whether you enter on that principle or not. And guess what? If you can't accept the uncertainty behind this game of trading, get out. Get out, because you're not going to find the Holy Grail. It doesn't work like that. Some you win, some you lose. Accept it. That's the truth. Yeah, but swing trades banana. I mean, how many trades? Well, swing trades, happy days. There's always going to be that person that says, yeah, I made trades in there. That's always going to be the case. There will always be that person that says it. Happy days. But you took the courage to take those trades, bro. Not everyone else does. That's the thing. All right. There's hardly any longs in this chart. There's roughly $30 billion worth of shorts in this range. What would have to happen to get Bitcoin to explode to the upside to start taking this liquidity? Because it's the futures markets at the end of the day. But that's to the visible range, guys. We don't know what's happening down here. Beyond 38K, we don't know. Can't see, doesn't show. But just below 38,000, just down at this point right here, that's where the liquidation points are for the longs. There could be more. Yeah? Yeah, I don't know why I'm in the stream for quite some time, actually. I trade Bitcoin, I hold it, I do all sorts. I break down my trades while I'm on the charts. I look to my left, place a trade. That's what I do. That's why I stream all the time, because I'm trading. That's it. You know, that's what we can do. I don't just sit here and just talk charts, man. We've got to take advantage of some of these plays. Now, 677 Bitcoin at 39,500 on the book map on Binance Futures was 500 just 5 minutes ago. Okay, so if that's the case, Tom, how you doing, man? Bearish Gartley forming. There we go. Bearish Gartley forming. You know, different patterns. Different patterns, different ideas, different time frames. Bearish Gartley on the daily. Go down to the 1 hour time frame. We've got a bullish flag. We've got a Mario flag. We've got Toblerones. Whatever we conceive it to be, guys. When price is trading sideways, we've got to sit tight and wait. Yeah, you know what? I've heard about Kingfisher. I've heard about Kingfisher. Is it actually worth the effort? Is it worth it going into that? I've been through nasty crashes. Now buy those and set a stop loss. Happy day, swing trade, banana. I accept that. I can appreciate that as well, man. It's always in the nasty crashes where you'd learn most of the lessons in trading. Do you know what? I don't actually look at the funding rate, to be fair. But considering that we've got the glass node, we have to have a look at the sentiment across the board just to understand where we are right now. Here we go. All right, so no capitulation. We haven't had capitulation. We probably won't get capitulation. Fees. Tell you what I want to look at. Okay, so there's a drop right there. On that basis, futures open interest. Problem with this is it updates every 24 hours. That's the problem with this. Now you can get a live price feed. You got to pay 10 grand for that, and I can't justify it. It's taking absolutely forever. Here we go. So open interest on all exchanges. Yes, that's where it is right there. So it's rising up from the previous session. Not as much as we'd expect it to be in this area here. Looking at this chart, we could get... See, that's the thing. We think $30 billion worth of shorts in this area here is a time for them to actually come back. But what if they want to keep them committed? Now, remember, the faster they move into these short liquidation points, the sooner they're going to probably try and get these guys to close. All right, so then they naturally want to bring it down to get them committed to add to it again. It's a trickery of a game, but we know at some point they're going to do something in this area. All right, the most I've seen it is 47, I believe. 47 billion, was it? Or 37 billion? We're at 30 billion now. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Bitcoin, it just doesn't seem to want to get above that zone. It's like a little mini multi-session M formation happening right there. Mini M formation. What's the story there? Funding rate is positive on Bybit. Longs paying shorts right now. This is it. Now you know why Warren's been sitting on cash. This is true. This is true. 10K. I'm a coder. I'll make that. Okay. Yeah, 10K just to pay for a year's subscription on it. It's madness, isn't it? Have you got the Will Woo Glassnode plan? Yes, I do. I believe I've got that Will Woo Glassnode plan. What is that again? It's on... Let me get my dashboards. I believe I've got it here. Hold on a second. Which one is it? Oh, man. I've forgotten what it is. Which one is it? Where is it? I had it on here. No, I know where it is. Here we go. I believe it's the workbench. Bitcoin price temperature. This is something that what's his name? Is it Plan B? Plan B utilize this. So when it comes towards these points in the chart, then it's going to be doing something from these ranges. So far, it's nowhere near the cold temperature. RVT ratio, is it that one? Will Woo, where is it? Where is it, man? MVT, is that the one? No. MVT price. There we go. Okay, then. So, MVT price values the Bitcoin network using the transaction volume settled by the blockchain. MVT ratio is the ratio of on-chain volume to its market cap, which can be considered as analogous to the price earnings ratio for the network. MVT cap is then calculated by multiplying on-chain volume by the 2-year median value of the MVT ratio and then adjusted to the MVT price by divide. That's too much for me, that is, man. That's too much for me. Created by Willy Woo. So, circulating supply by Bitcoin. Big spike there, obviously, when it was nice and cheap. And we haven't had any spikes just yet. The MVT price per day. Now, price is trading below that. MVT 28 price trading below everything. So I'm guessing when it's trading below these figures, we can anticipate it to come back up. Is that the principle? And then when it trades back above it, we expect it to go back down. Or as it stands in this area here, we can see Bitcoin price is trading there. And it's actually below these key MVT price points. I don't know. I've never used it. I've never used this. You know? Tino, are you a crypto believer or a trader? Good question. Am I a believer in crypto? Yes, I am. I believe in what cryptocurrency can do. All right. What am I more of? I'm more of a trader in crypto. I came from Forex, ladies and gentlemen. Before I even touched the idea of crypto, I was in Forex cycles all day, every day. Forex was my home. Okay. Now I've got a next door neighbor called crypto. So now we're sharing houses now. That's what it is. We're just sharing the residency, you know, that's what it is. Do I favor crypto to Forex? I like the volatility in crypto because you don't get the same volatility. Well, you do sometimes get that volatility in Forex. All right. But Forex has more respectful ranges. OK, it has more. Yeah, I'm a trader, man. Yeah, I'm a trader. It's, you know, I like staking. That's one thing I like doing in crypto. I like staking. I don't get caught up with the price of any coin. I'm not interested in that. Okay. Which is why holders, in my opinion, limit themselves when they just hold. Because as part of your strategy, when you're coming into this type of asset class, you need to have a strategy. You know, when you sit and buy and hold, it's a different story. You know, can you take advantage of any risk exposure by trading? You know, what percentage of your holding portfolio are you going to trade to offset any drawdown that you might get when the market's dropping to the downside? Because why wouldn't significant selling, buying in spot affect Bitcoin futures price action? Because you're borrowing money in futures markets. Because people in futures markets, okay, they only care about the fluctuations of Bitcoin's price. It has nothing to do with the amount of people that actually hold it. All right. The amount of people that hold Bitcoin will have an effect on Bitcoin. Okay. But the futures market itself, as much as it's not, it just reflects what people believe Bitcoin should be in the future. at a certain point in time. That's all it is. It's like this. Wheat futures, wheat markets, okay? Does the wheat price itself have anything to do with the leverage that traders use, okay, to trade it on the value that it's going to go up or down? Doesn't, does it? It's just a value. You're just trading a spread. That's all you're doing. What happens with the economics of Bitcoin is a different story, okay? Just because there is right now $30 billion worth of short liquidations, okay, in the chart, does that mean Bitcoin's price, okay, is going to go up or down? Something's going to happen for the market to come back into this area because they come back into the imbalances, because they need to, offset the order book. That's how it works, all right? What factors contribute to that is a different story. What point does it go from one point to the next? It's all based on people accumulating it, the miners, and all the other stories that are tethered behind Bitcoin itself. You know? What else we got here? Staking, paying 40 a pound for stake. Well, look, Stoic, listen, we've been saying it's been going to drop to 28. Like, people have been looking at 28 for months, but we're basing that on the monthly time frame, though. I've only just spoken about the monthly time frame tonight, okay? But the only reason we're talking about is because we're coming close towards these points. That's the thing, you know? We're coming closer. Like I said, I'll only start paying attention to this when we start getting really close to it. So if price comes down to 33, okay, that's when I start paying attention to these areas here, because that's where the liquidity is at. There are still people holding on to Bitcoin in this area in leveraged positions. All right. Remember, this chart here is only between 46 and 38. That's nothing. We're talking about from 39 all the way down to 20s. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the takeaway for you is this. All right. If you're a trader, you're only interested in price action going from one point to the next and how much money can you make off that point in terms of leverage trading. That's what it is. That's all you need to care about if you're a trader. If you're a holder, you have one decision to make. You either buy it cheaper, okay, and you sell it higher. That's all it is. We can't confuse ourselves and get caught up in the idea of, what if Bitcoin this? What if Bitcoin? What if? It's always going to be what if, because we just don't know. You know? People are quick to say, oh, yeah, but you said this, you said that. Well, if you're quick to tell me that I said this, what you saying, bro? You obviously know a bit more. You know? It takes a lot to step onto a stream in front of 1,600 people and say to them my point of view on where I think Bitcoin's going to go, based on my experience in the markets. Traded Forex for nearly 12 years. I've come into crypto. I've only been in crypto a year, ladies and gentlemen. 1 year trading crypto. That is it. I got 12 behind me. So I'm familiar with the way things move about. Trading crypto is different to trading Forex. Crypto is unregulated. Welcome to the solidification of uncertainty. Because when it's unregulated, they can do whatever they want. You saying to me that you can justify taking $30 billion worth of people's liquidity? That's sad. That is the harsh, sad truth of trading. That is why it's called the zero-sum game. One man's fun is another's hell. The sooner you get that in your minds, guys, the easier it's going to be if you take a trade and you lose. Because you're going to be able to accept that it can't always go in the direction that you think it's going to go. And you know what? It's crazy. You go on Twitter, you go everywhere. People are saying up and down, up and down, up and down. No one will all be of the same opinion that Bitcoin's going up or Bitcoin is going down. You'll get a few people that agree that Bitcoin's going to go higher or lower. That's fine. But no one will all be of the belief that Bitcoin can only go in one direction. Because what do you determine as direction? Is this direction? Price dropping from here down to here, that's direction. Price rising from here to here, that's direction. Price rising from this point right here to this point right here is direction. We've all got an opinion on it. But when it's just you and the charts, everything else is irrelevant. You know? Exactly. When crypto pays you money, guys, you take it from the marketplace. Because only last week, there was $25 billion worth of longs. This week, we've got $30 billion worth of shorts. Isn't it funny how every time you come to this chart, you always seem to see there's money in each side? Well, that means that it's not going anywhere, guys. So don't worry. Crypto's staying. Trading is staying because this is the fattest cash machine for the markets. You know? Tina has a secret huddle back on a cold wallet. Listen, aren't there some long positions from 1K open as well? Probably there is. Okay. I mean, listen, anyone that's in a long position right now from $1,000 in Bitcoin, okay, they're still sitting nicely. All right? They're still sitting nicely even at 24K. They're sitting nicely at 16K. All right? The true people that are sitting nicely are the guys that brought Bitcoin when it was worth nothing. They don't need to worry about price because it can go all the way down to 10K and move all the way back up again. Who cares? It can go to 5K. It can go to 4K, guys. Okay? Why can't it go to 4K? Tell me why it can't. All right? Give me every reason to believe why it can't go to 4K. Let's actually justify why. Because at 4K, okay, we've got a vector wick. Oh, is it possible? Oh, 3,615. Could Bitcoin go there? Tell me why it can't, and then we can come to the understanding as to why it will. Yeah? Again, it's irrelevant. For a trader, it's irrelevant. I don't care what Bitcoin's price is. I care about how it moves from one point to the next. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect for passing through to tonight's stream. I have made this a long one tonight. All right, I just want to thank you all for passing through. I've managed to rest over these past few days, but if you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Get yourself over to the Discord. It's free of charge to do. The channel itself is free. You can download the indicators. They are free of charge. Mad love and respect to the family of pattern watchers. You have yourselves a wonderful evening. Please trade safely, guys, and become traders. Don't hold. Take care of yourselves, gang. Peace.